This is Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Saturday on the Love Boat. The podcast that hunts down and tears apart shenanigans on this classic TV show.
I see an awful lot of bodies who really have nothing to be ashamed of.
When laws, morals, and behavior go rogue.
She's a student of marine biology, and I know a lot of Marines who like to study her biology.
We are there.
Saturday on the Love Boat, Julie's game to join an all-male club, but she's shocked at the things they ask her to do.
Now, from Studio 109, welcome aboard.
I think it's time you and I got to know each other better. A man gets very lonely at sea.
Yes, I can imagine.
That is correct. A man does get very lonely at sea. I can attest to that from personal experience, and I'm not going to tell you that story. It gets a little salty.
Oh, a little salty.
Yeah,
I like
salty.
the ocean reference.
Yeah, hey, it's all ocean references on Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed.
High seas, low morals.
Oh, that's what we say. And I am Rob. I'm here with
Charlotte
and
producer Caleb.
There's always that little
Producer
pause.
Caleb,
He
yes.
just builds the suspense before he says his name.
Yes,
That's how
It's
it
true.
works.
I just need to hype it up, you know.
Yeah, I love
the grand moment.
Yes. And producer Caleb, I do want you to know that I met another Caleb last weekend, and immediately I said, do you spell your name with a C or a K? And he goes, oh, no, I'm a C. He goes, K's suck.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And I said,
Amen.
And I
Amen.
said, there's a Facebook group for you. So anyway, just wanted you to know that.
Thank you. I appreciate you helping the cause.
I am helping the cause.
Caleb
with a C. The cause with the C.
The cause with the C, he's made a big thing out of fishing out the people that spell Caleb incorrectly, i.e. with a K. And they make his shit list.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you're the scum of the earth. I see you as a
There
lesser
we go.
being.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
I'm going to say it.
that's
I just said it.
Okay,
You know,
there we
it's
go.
on there now.
There we go.
hard
We just lost all of our Caleb's with the K listeners.
Well, we're staring down the barrel of 9 minutes of clips. Now, the thing with this is, in season 2, where we're at, season 2, episodes 9 and 10, only have enough to kind of create content for us to question, to comment on, and to tear apart. There's only enough for, I think, one show. So we're going to take season 2, episode 9 and episode 10. We're going to combine these suckers, and we're going to dive in. Looks like I've seen a number of faces that we have seen before in season 1.
Oh, yay.
So we're going to have
I hope it's some of our favorites that come back. I do hope so.
I do have some definitive favorites.
Okay.
All right, so we're staring at a still on our screen, which looks like the typical people are coming aboard the ship, being introduced, and anything we need to know, producer Caleb.
I will say this first clip, there's nothing really questionable. It's just, I just wanted to make a statement about what we see, but nothing, no trigger warnings, nothing too serious, nothing too dark.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun, light episode today.
Gosh, coming out of last week's suicide stuff.
Craziness.
All right, here we go, guys.
Hello, welcome aboard, Mr. Ellen Garner.
Mrs. Garner.
Oh, Mrs. Garner, we're about to sail. I hope Mr. Garner isn't late.
That's me, the late Mr. Garner. I'm a widow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
What are we seeing?
Our first barbecue after our honeymoon, I told her to pour lighting fluid on the cold slow, not cold slaw. I'll never forget my last words.
Oh, here you are, Mrs. Garner. Of course, excuse me. You're on the Aloha deck, cabin 3 pitted.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing here? Trying to find you a new husband. I told you this ghost can't rest in peace until you're married again.
I don't want to get married again.
Hey, look here. You got a whole life to live.
Julie's in the
and it's gonna
background
be
watching
with another man.
inquisitively, the woman talking to seemingly no one. And why would that be?
Well, because J.J. Walker's a ghost. And I just want to say that for 1979 or whatever, that was probably freaking awesome. Him just appearing like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was like some special fucking effects. That was like George Lucas stuff.
Yes. I'm reminded of M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Except he was probably 4 years old.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I love that it's J.J. Walker. I love that he's back. And also, Caleb, I don't know if you included it because it's like Julie just assumes that she's married because of her name. Like, she just automatically just says like, oh, well, you must be with a man.
The only reason why I included this clip was because it's, once again, Love Boat. Like, this common theme that we've seen over this series, season 2, is just like,
Insanity.
Them just trying whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, you're right.
Like this storyline, there's just a random ghost that appears. Like, oh, I guess there's ghosts in this universe now. It's like, where did this come from? He just appeared out of nowhere. I don't know. I just included this because every episode there's always some new sort of.
Oh yeah, they're just throwing everything at the wall at this point.
Yeah, and it's crazy how far they go. Like,
and they use that classic cheap edit trick where she's standing there and there's no one there, and then snap and boom, Jimmy J.J. Walker, the ghost, appears right there. And she's talking with them. Obviously, you all heard the dialogue, but no one else sees him.
No one else sees him. So she just currently looks schizophrenic at the moment.
We're led to believe that. And we believe that because if nothing else, our Julie in the background sees this woman talking to thin air.
Yes.
A full conversation to no one.
Yeah, really. Very full. And you're right, producer Caleb. Every single episode of season 2 is a new concept, a new low, a new ridiculous kind of scenario that they throw at us, and we're to believe and accept all of them. And that's okay, because I think we all do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, let's see where this episode takes us.
You see, sir, Gopher's sister's coming on board for her birthday, and he wants to look terrific.
His sister, huh? Haven't I met her before? Little,
Chubbs, you remember, Keller. Chunky?
yeah. She was about 5 feet tall, all over. You better order 2 birthday cakes.
Order 2 birthday.
So I'm just going to go ahead and guess that this sister of Gopher's is going to come on the boat and be bomb. Like, she's going to look good. Like, she's going to be hot, and then all the guys are going to want her. But the fact that they referred to her as chunky.
And the doc throws that out there. The doc, a fan of women, wink, wink. And then the captain picks up the slack. I always feel there's something going on, some kind of hidden relationship. The doc is setting the captain up, the captain's setting doc up. And you can almost see that undercurrent that's happening with those two characters there. Because then we just heard the captain says 5 foot all over. And we're supposed to find that and laughing, hysterically funny.
Yeah. 5 feet all over.
I mean, who doesn't love a good little, fat shaming in the morning,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, first thing.
The cruise hasn't even started yet.
No, hasn't even gotten off the freaking dock.
But it begins.
Hello there.
Gail!
Hi. Hi, sweetheart. What are you doing here? We didn't expect you to see us off.
Oh, well, any chance I get to see my baby?
Oh, look, Gail, there is a reason we didn't invite you down here to see us off.
What reason could you possibly have for not inviting a mother?
A father. Don't worry, it'll be late.
Daddy, hi.
Oh, Les, what a pleasant surprise. What are you doing here?
I was invited. What are you doing here?
I crashed.
So it's Mr. Roper again.
No,
that's not Mr. Roper.
It's
Who is
Mr.
it?
Drummond.
Mr. Drummond, you're right.
From Different Strokes.
From Different Strokes. That's just totally correct on that, yes.
The world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
No, it does not.
Goes.
No. What a fucked up series that was.
What might be right for you may not be right for some, Charlotte.
That's right. I know.
The lyrics from Different Strokes, opening song. But that was also the girl, the woman, the lady in the script was...
It's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, a young.
And I've got some trivia facts for you guys about this because when I was watching this episode, I'm like, she looks really familiar, and sure enough, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. She did this episode right after Halloween came out, as she was getting her big start.
Right, and Halloween
she decided
was
to do an episode on Love Boat.
Awesome.
So,
I love that. I love her. I think she's great.
The reason they kept this clip in, and I'm sure Charlotte, you have plenty to say about this. It's once again just 2 people just walking on the boat, no tickets included, just to see the family off. Like, hell, we love the lack of security every episode.
Well, I mean, I remember clearly when I used to fly on airplanes, and like your family could walk you to the gate, and then you like had to go outside and get on a staircase to go up into the plane, and you could smoke still on the plane.
Right, and when you get off the plane, they'd be there like open arms.
Yeah. But you're right, Caleb. There's no security. There's zero. I mean, a ghost just got on board, for Christ's sakes.
Well, here's another little bit of trivia. I thought this might be true because I'm, older than everybody, so I'm able to see, wait, is that person? The mother of Jamie Lee Curtis is her mother. And she was Janet Leigh.
Who was the shower scene, Psycho.
In the blood shedding shower.
That's her real mom, Caleb.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I like it when people do that, like real moms and daughters.
Caleb's not impressed, though. He's like, yeah, that's mom. Yeah.
Well, it's like in Young Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory. Like the mom in Big Bang, like her actual daughter plays the mom in Young Sheldon. So I like it when they put family people together.
Absolutely. And the guy almost looked like Tom Hanks, but I don't think it was. had that sort of a look.
He did have that sort of a look.
Jamie Lee Curtis's husband in that scene. All right, guys, here we go.
We are lost. Hopefully lost. Nice going, Gail.
Gail.
It's Jamie Lee's mom and Mr. Drummond, formerly married.
They're redecorating this area. I wonder what the new suites look like.
Last call for all visitors. All ashore that
What are you doing? Look, the ship is about to sail.
I just want to take a look at one of the cabins.
Of course.
Come on, we gotta get out
They're
of
going
here.
to get locked in.
Now you happy?
Oh, door locked. You're right.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, well, you haven't lost your touch.
I knew it. I knew when I saw them come into that room that they were somehow going to get trapped on that boat and they were going to end up staying. I knew it.
Locked in a room. Doorknob came right off in his hand.
Doorknob came right off.
She blamed him, and this is going to be
But he blamed her for getting
cruise.
lost.
But here's the thing: how do you get lost on a cruise ship?
I know. I don't know. And also,
how is that possible?
They're just wandering around aimlessly with no, I guess visitors can just go wherever they want. There's no
Well, there was just that little chain, which again goes toward what you always talk about.
Yeah.
There's no security on this damn boat.
No. And now these people are going to be trapped in a room for a week together with no running water and food. They'll figure it out. But
I guess. I think we could all hazard a guess as to what will happen.
Yes.
Producer Caleb. Well, no, you know what will happen. Forget it.
I will keep my lips sealed.
You're right.
Sworn to secrecy.
Until the episode's over, of course.
Yeah,
and
of
then
course. You
I
can
just
just
yap
blab.
away.
Yeah. We love when you do that. Best part.
All right, here we go, guys.
Captain Stewart, you remember my kid sister, Chubbs?
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer, you've really grown up. Whatever happened to the little girl with the big appetite?
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Wow, you just grind it right in her face.
I know. What happened to that fatso you used to be?
Because now she's a gorgeous woman. And she's probably smarter than every one of those dudes on the crew. And I wonder where this will go. Except I will guess.
But she looks really young. Doesn't she look younger than even Doc?
She's 12 years old.
Doesn't she look she's 16 or
Let's
something?
just pin that comment in there, Charlotte.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. I promise you.
Okay, good. Okay.
Wow, where's this episode?
I know
gonna go?
exactly. Now I'm really curious.
Is that her?
Door's unlocked.
She's walking around now.
Oh God.
She's taking her. Doc comes in. It's not Gopher, and she is in a bikini. She just took her robe off.
Doc.
Oh, you're not dressed. I'll wait outside.
Doc, don't be silly. I'm glad you came.
She's cornering him.
I'm sorry we were
She's
interrupted.
touching him.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Oh my gosh.
Making out with him.
Yeah, I thought I couldn't take you.
And Gopher sees it.
Look, it's not what you think.
And what is it?
Oh, goodness. Well, since Doc's reputation precedes him, I can easily see how Gopher would see that he was the aggressor. But his little sister was going after the Doc, which I don't understand.
Right. Well, Caleb had us pin this age question.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just going to keep
Well,
it
Caleb,
pinned.
how old do you think she is in this episode? Do they actually tell us how old she is?
They do. That's why I said we'll see it. I think in the next clip or the clip after.
Okay.
I won't
But
try to jump ahead here.
We're gonna have a whole thing to talk about. I can promise you that. So
Oh, gosh. Okay.
anticipation is building.
Mouth.
Is this going to involve grief counseling?
I don't know.
Here it goes. All right, and the divorced couple is... They kind of set up camp in this locked-in cabin.
And it's obvious they just had sex.
Yes.
He's buttoning up his shirt all prideful.
Yeah, and she's naked on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows a way out.
He just figured it out. He just opened the door.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's getting back down to business. He was like, screw that.
Yeah, Mr. Drummond
Or screw
is
that. Yeah, that's what I'm
pimping it
thinking.
here
Yeah.
today. So what we saw was, yes, they obviously had sex because he comes out buttoning up his shirt and he goes to the door and jingles the handle and sees, yes, I can get out, and then decides to shut it and pretend they're still locked in, and he starts to take his shirt off, which is really disturbing. really, Mr. Drummond.
Well, he's about to get back on the floor with his lady.
Well,
I guess they're getting back together. I don't know. What do you think, Caleb?
The sex is just too damn good for freedom. Like,
yeah.
So we must question: is he doing something wayward of behavioral correctness here? He's trapped her in a sense, really now, because he knows he can get out.
He's sort of holding her hostage at this point. Yeah, it's a hostage situation.
I've seen this a couple times in season 2.
Yeah,
hostage situation, sex slave.
Sex slaves, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. I mean, we have one late lady that's still stuck on an island somewhere. I hope she's okay.
That's Mrs. Roper.
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
I'll see where it goes, folks.
Doc?
Jennifer.
Oh, the young girl.
Why aren't you at your birthday party?
I'm not in the mood for ice cream.
She's taking her hairpins out. That means...
I want to celebrate this night with you.
Jennifer, wait.
Everyone's waiting for
Well,
Jennifer.
everything's here but the birthday girl.
Chubbs is over 40 minutes late.
Gopher, have some patience. She just wants to be perfect. If she's anything like I was when I turned 18, she'll take at least another hour.
18. Okay, so she's currently
She's
17.
not even 18. No,
she's
she's
currently
17.
Yeah,
She's
wow.
17 and she's trying to get in Doc's pants.
Wow.
Like...
But why? I mean, she's such a cute girl. She could have anyone on that cruise.
Right.
I mean, if she wanted to get laid and lose her virginity, then she needs to find some dude her age.
Well,
maybe.
I was getting ready to, toss this question out your direction, Charlotte, and that is the Doc. Why?
I don't
What
understand
attracts
it.
women? You're a woman.
I am a woman, and I don't understand it. I think he's heinous.
I'll tell you, he looks very
I would
tanned.
do Gopher before I did the Doc.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I really would.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Producer Caleb?
Yeah, I guess me 3.
And I'd do Barbie Benton over all of them.
Where is Barbie Benton?
That's without even question.
Right,
No,
exactly.
that's
Exactly. That's without
given.
question. That's a given.
So we're left to believe that the Doc is having an illicit affair. It would be, I'm not going to use the R word again because we've overused it in the last few weeks, but he's taking advantage of a minor sexually is what we're left.
Does the Doc know how old she is?
100%.
Okay, I would think so, right? Okay, yeah.
And again, oddly, really strange. This reminds me of when Julie threw herself at the Doc.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Doc, why won't you do me? Just come on. You've never tried.
Mm-mm.
And now a youngster is in that position doing that same thing. There's something really wrong here. All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's some childhood crush she always had on the Doc or something.
Sure.
I don't know.
I mean, that's as good
I have
as
no
any
idea.
reason.
What's wrong with me? I'm not pretty enough. Is that it?
No, you're
very
17.
beautiful.
I'm not sophisticated enough.
Jennifer, you're 18 and you're Gopher's sister.
Gopher. What's he got to do with it? He still thinks I'm a kid.
Sad music.
Oh. Yeah, now I get it. That's what you think, too.
No, I think you're a very desirable woman.
Oh, God.
Then why don't you want me? I want to learn. I want to learn from someone with a lot of experience.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, girl.
You'd be a terrific teacher.
Oh, boy.
I can give her a phone number to call.
What phone number would you give her to call?
I don't like anyone. Like she could get a gigolo with as much experience if that's what she's
How
looking
do you
for.
find a gigolo, though?
She's on a
Rob,
cruise
weren't you
ship.
a gigolo? Weren't you a gigolo in
look,
New York?
I'm trying to be coy here.
Yeah, there we go.
843-5.
If I were someone that worked for sex, I'm not sure what the proper term is.
Sex worker.
Sex worker.
Uh-huh.
I would go on a cruise ship for sure.
My God,
Think about all the clientele.
They'd hang at the bar. That's what they
Yeah.
do.
Totally hang at the
Fancy
bar.
hotels and stuff, too.
100%. That's what I would do.
Well, that was a classic moment we just saw there.
Mhm.
We haven't seen anything even close to that at all in any way, shape,
Right.
or form. She is beautiful. The Doc is a horn dog, and somehow she has mental problems.
She's Gopher's sister
Right.
for one, so
She's-
something has to be wrong with
She's
her.
definitely blind or has some sort of eyesight.
Well, she was
issue
blind in
because,
Little House. She was. Remember, at the end of the
Yeah, at the
season,
end of
she
it all.
became blind.
Right,
The older
Melissa
sister.
Sue Anderson.
Yeah.
I just hated how the scene that we just watched, it just kept building. like she was like, "Oh, why didn't you love me? Is it because I'm young?" And he's like, "Well, no, you're also my best friend's younger sister." She's like, "Oh, but I just want someone who's experienced, and it's my first time, and I just love you." Like, no, you're a minor. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
He's twice your age. He's 3 times your age.
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
is.
please, just stop.
Dude, for your first time, you don't want
me
old
out.
man dick. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Like,
Thank you,
come
Charlotte.
on.
Thank you.
He
just
lives on a
don't.
cruise boat. He doesn't wash it. I'm telling you right now, it's not washed.
No.
And then, if this was another age, like the Victorian era or something, or Europe, or I guess this would be okay.
Would it?
Not really, not for us.
Oh, yeah, I don't
it'd be
know.
okay if it was like maybe the 1500s.
Well,
That's what
maybe
I'm
if
saying.
people only.
1978.
Yeah.
Victorian is what?
Robert
1800s, yeah.
Yeah.
1800s, yeah.
That sounds good.
I'm dumbfounded. Well, okay. I see on our screen it says episode 10. Hold on a second. Let me just wait a second. Episode 9, we have no resolve. I'm always looking for redemption. Or
yeah.
resolve.
And we have none.
So we have to look towards producer Caleb's direction.
I need to know what happened with the ghost situation.
Yeah, first off.
The ghost, okay, she ran into this other gentleman, and the ghost guy was like, "Oh, hell yeah, this is the one. Trust me. And she's like, "No, I don't really care about him." And then she falls in love with him, and then the ghost is like, "Actually, I hate him. He's disgusting. No, he's just using you." And she's like, "Well, I want to love him, so suck it. I'm gonna be happy now." And then the ghost like disappeared into heaven. He was like, "Well, wait, honey, wait. I guess she can't listen to me." And then he just like vanished. So that was the end of that story. The Jamie Lee Curtis one, the mother and father who are divorced, they do end up falling back in love. And the husband was like, "I figured out how to open up the door 2 days ago." And she's like, "Well, I figured it out 3 days ago."
One up.
I like that.
And then they fell in love again. And then the Jamie Lee Curtis and her husband ended up getting a divorce.
Oh.
And she was like, "But Mom, Dad, you guys are divorced." And they're like, "Yeah, but we're back to love again. We tried it out." And so Jamie was like, I guess we'll have to try it out just one more time." And then that's the end of that story. And then the minor and Doc gives her some good advice about like, slow down. You'll find the right love and you'll know it's the right one, kind of thing. It won't hurt. It's like yada 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 yada. And she's like, "Wow, Doc, you give me some good advice. You are a good teacher." Looking back to what we just saw. And then they end up having a birthday celebration, and then she leaves with no love in sight, kind of thing. And
Oh, poor thing.
That's episode 9.
But I'm telling you, that was a jam-packed episode because we had people that came onto the boat, not ever wanting to get married again, and then fall in love with someone on a 2-day cruise, and then decide that they fucked the other ex-husband. Right. And then we have a couple that gets on the boat that were divorced. They end up back together, but then the couple that was married, they somehow get divorced also on the boat and then decide to try it again on the boat. Like, is this a long cruise? Is this like a month long?
It's a 5-day cruise. I
Okay, that's a lot of shit going on in 5 days. Like, to get a divorce, like in the legal system, if you can get one of, I guess, international waters, you can just, I don't know.
Maybe you could get married out there just as easily as divorce. And maybe that's what's in play here. Jamie Lee Curtis, wasted. I mean, she's a talented lady. Seems like she just kind of had a minor role that wasn't very interesting. And I have to say, this whole husband and wife that gets back together just sucks. It's boring. It's
not very inventive.
No.
But I did have an idea just now, since we were talking about getting divorced in international waters. If it's easier, we should start a charter service, and we should just bus people. We should just boat people out to international water. Yeah, 3 miles off, get their quickie divorces, and then come right back. We can make some money. I do too.
You know,
we could
have a
actually call it the Love Boat.
Cast of characters. The Love Boat. We'll try to use that name.
Yeah.
And we'll have an Elvis that can marry people.
Yeah.
We'll have a Captain Stubing lookalike.
Yes.
You all are married.
Yes, I love it.
Oh, what was my last thing? Okay, I remember Death from Ghost, the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
And Demi Moore, of course. Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, right. And this heavy film, very sad. Very dramatic. And when someone leaves the earth, it happens in an equally dramatic way.
Yeah.
If they're going to hell, these dark figures come and swipe them and pull them down. If they're going to heaven, I kind of forgot.
They sort of become like crystallized and like all glittery and just sort of like.
So did we get that from Jimmy J.J. Walker when he left this realm and went to heaven or wherever he went?
No, just like the opening scene where he just like blinked in. He just
Snapped.
blinked out.
That's as far as their technology went then, Rob. That's all they could do was blink in and blink out. There was no fade in or anything.
I guess they're cranking out.
They didn't have iMovie back then.
Right, yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I see the big word episode 10, but you know what we need to do? We're a little overdue for it. It's a commercial break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Love Boat Exposed. Go to loveboatexposed.com to send us a message, leave a voicemail, or learn more about the show and our team. Who knows? You might just be invited to the captain's table.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard. I'm speaking for my entire crew.
The pleasure is all mine,
pleasure.
Captain Stubing. All right, episode 10. It's just short. There was hardly anything in it. I see it maybe as one clip, and maybe it's two.
I think there's like at least 3 clips in episode 10.
Okay,
So
well,
yeah,
let's go.
it's very short, very brief. Nothing much going on here.
You know what? Sometimes you have a bum episode. That's just what happens in the world.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see.
Well, you just got a little lost, which never would have happened if you'd been in my cabin with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like straight on the
Again.
bat, 2-second short clip. Like
No, but still, it's the doc again, back to his old ways.
He's hounding her. He's
Well,
literally.
he touched her without her permission. Like he grabbed the back of her back, the small of her back. And then he was like, oh, come down to my cabin. Oh, he's so
and I will
gross.
say, we never see her once again in this episode. It was literally just a one throwaway line, and they just had to make it the most perverted, sexually degrading, just filth. And from the doc.
In the cast list, she's probably Doc's girl number 3.
Yeah, exactly. Totally, yeah.
She actually looked like a girl from 8 is Enough, which I don't think they would pull one of the ensemble cast from 8 is Enough just to be in a shit scene like that. But
Yeah, just a quick short one.
Okay.
All I know about you is that you're Jerry Whitney. What do you do?
Well, don't tell anyone, but I'm a minister.
I don't believe it.
Yep. Reverend Gerald Whitney. I've got a church in Walnut Creek outside San Francisco. Well, if you want proof, I've got a sermon that can put you to sleep in 3 minutes.
I'm a dancer in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Oh.
You know that I once thought about taking tap dancing lessons.
Oh, well, that's not really my specialty. Mostly what I do is take my clothes off.
Oh. Okay, so Caleb, I need some background. Who is the woman in the green dress, the older woman?
Right, because the setup here is there's an older lady
who's more his age.
Eavesdropping.
Yes.
On this younger girl with the older guy who's apparently a priest.
Yes, and
So
the younger
the
girl
older-
looks like Molly Ringwald, sort of, to me. She has that same look.
Yeah.
The older lady in the green dress who choked on her wine, she's friends with the Reverend, and she's married to a gambler. And she was like talking to her husband about how she needs to set up the Reverend and how he's like single and how he shouldn't be single. And then she sees this lady, the stripper from Vegas, and she was like, oh, she looks like she'd be perfect for the Reverend. Let me set him up. Let me set them up. And so she's been like pulling the strings down the back, and she, of course, being an older lady of religion, she wants the gossip, and that's why she like sat right next to them as close as she can, so she could eavesdrop in what's going on to see if it works out or whatever's going on.
This could be like a Jesus, Mary, Magdalene situation where the priest just falls in love with the stripper.
Yeah, and you could tell the older woman who is doing the eavesdropping is a busybody.
Oh,
Like
totally
one
a
of those little
busybody.
chatty
Yeah.
Cathy's
Well,
and trying to
she
stir
even
shit
looked
up.
like one.
Oh my God, yes, the wig and everything.
Oh, yeah, everything. It was like
Bright
Central
red
Casting.
makeup.
Send us a
Absolutely. You know,
an old lady hen.
Speaking of Central Casting, which is, I guess, primarily extras and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, but the two characters, the priest or pastor, what was he? Was there? He's a reverend. Reverend.
He's a
Reverend,
man
yes.
of God, whatever that is.
Thank you. He's a man of God. Peter Graves, who was a star of, was it Mission Impossible? Some 60s crime shows. I should know the answer to that, but I do not. And the woman, I don't know who she was. You said she was a little Molly Ringwald-ish.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to really nail their characters. We only saw a few scenes. He had the demeanor of a man of God for
Yes,
sure.
for
And I
sure.
believed him in a second. And she had this wry sort of seen it all, but still intrigued by him.
Mm-hmm.
I really totally bought the stripper and the man of God scene
Oh, yeah,
there.
for sure. Me too.
Yeah, well done. Central Casting.
Yes, well done, Central Casting. Good job, Caleb, pulling that clip.
He is our Central
Thank you,
Casting
yeah.
for
He
us.
is our Central Casting.
There's gambling. On the love boat, there's gambling. The guy's playing a slot machine as a kid walks up to him.
Hi. Can I try?
So are we? Wow. Okay, is that the older lady's husband?
That is, yes.
The gambler. Okay. Are we about to have a situation where he's about to adopt this child, or has this child just somehow run on the boat? Does this child have parents? What is it? What is happening?
Yeah, this child, he's related to one of like the extra crew on the Love Boat.
Okay.
But yeah, I was really hoping that he would give the child a turn on gambling, so we could that would be such a highlight clip of a little kid gambling. But unfortunately, he doesn't. But there is a premise that we just saw of what it seemed like it could be.
Yeah.
But that's the end of the clips, I'm pretty sure, for episode 10.
No worries.
Yeah, that is episode 10, yes.
The little kid, his relative who works on the Love Boat, he ends up getting like $1,500 in debt. And the gambler makes it big. He gets a jackpot and is just enough to fix that debt. And so he gives it to the little kid.
Oh, that's
and the
sweet.
Kid gives it back to his brother, relative, whoever's like the Love Boat guy. And then the reverend and the prostitute or the stripper or whatever, they end up falling in love. She turns away her sinful ways, and he goes, "You could preach too at my church." And she goes, "Yeah, maybe I will." And that's pretty much it.
I love that.
Boring episode, not much going on. Things we've already seen before.
Right.
Just basically a repeat with a new fresh
coat of paint. Got it.
First off, producer Caleb, there is a difference between a stripper and a prostitute.
There is, yes.
I think we could all agree.
There is, because Rob's done both.
That's right. And they're distinctly different.
He had different business cards for each venture.
I had one card that had each side.
Each side was different? Okay.
Flip it to whatever business I was operating out of. But they are distinctly different. Okay. Well, Peter Graves, the priest, the man of God, was the star of Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Mr. Phelps, who I think there is a new Mr. Phelps in the Tom Cruise version. So, yeah, throwback to old detective and crime dramas.
Love that.
With the Reverend there.
Well, this was fun, you guys. Thanks.
It was. It was a fast-paced 2-episode coverage.
Yes, it was.
But we've knocked them out of the park. We can put it behind us. Look to the horizon, which doesn't look very bright, knowing Love Boat.
Right, there we go.
Have you peeked ahead a little bit?
I have not, but just Love Boat's track record just doesn't, doesn't really look too good.
Yeah, I hear you.
I wonder if they'll stabilize and just sort of hit a groove and just
I don't know. I feel like this season, they're just all over the place. Maybe in the third season, they'll have figured out what works. I don't know. Maybe right now, like Caleb said, they're just throwing shit at the wall.
Right. Well,
because it's not even consistent.
Charlotte.
It's not even consistent. Do you know what I mean? The storylines don't even make sense. At least in season 1, even though every episode was different and had different people, there was still an underlying and common theme of what was going on. I don't feel like all the cast is together as much either. I feel like it's very sporadic who's in episodes and who's not. It feels like people are taking vacays or something.
Season 1, they kept it tight.
Yeah,
it's they all the writers maybe knew each other and operated out of the same offices or something like this. This one completely feels like how there's 3 different stories on every episode, that there's just someone out in Des Moines writing a script and someone in New York and someone in, East Los Angeles.
It's just very disjointed.
Yeah.
What I really liked how episode 1, all of these 3 different stories ended up blending into one. They cross over. It made sense. It flowed this husband who's cheating on his wife with another person from a different story.
Right. It made sense. Yeah.
But this one, it's just like you said, Rob, 3 distinct episodes, standalone, just mushed together to make a 50-minute thing for TV.
Totally.
They don't blend.
We may have to make a tally card where we mark the things that they keep going back to. Of course, Doc is always the womanizer. That's on every episode pretty much. The husband and wife who have broken up.
You could turn it into a drinking game, really.
That's true.
Exactly. Well,
Doc hits some girl, take shot.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Isaac is funny at the bar, take shot.
And
we're all going to end up in hospital with alcohol poisoning if we do that.
We'll have half the podcast will be go.
And the stripper plotline, stripper or Las Vegas dancer, which
orphan,
are
lone child.
Yes, they go to that.
Stowaway
in general.
Drunk out of your mind.
By the way, the stripper is either a stripper or a Las Vegas dancer, but Las Vegas is somehow always involved.
Always involved, because that's where we got our nurse from too, remember?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, you're right. Doc's competition for a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, guys. Well, this was great.
Here's the wind down. Producer
Well,
Caleb,
thank you.
What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to say thank you guys all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll see you all on the Love Boat next week.
Thank you, Miss Charlotte. Thank you, producer
Thank you,
Caleb.
Rob.
We're sailing away,
Thank you, guys.
but we will be back with a new episode of Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Make sure to subscribe. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms. And connect with us at loveboatexposed.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I have duties on the bridge. Good evening.